So again, welcome to Sweetbrier's bi-monthly informational webinar for clients. Today we'll be looking into the new Google Chat app. Many of you will be familiar with Classic Hangouts as well as Google Meet, the chat and video conferencing apps you have had included with your subscription. This app's taking Hangouts and adding some excellent collaboration tools, easier sharing features, and allowing some artificial intelligence help in the form of bots that you can chat with directly. Today, we will look at basic functionality, including how to access chat, how to start conversations both directly and in rooms, which is one of the new features of chat, and then also how to utilize the bots, which are the new AI feature of chat that allows you to communicate directly with the bots within these rooms, just as you would a person. So it's a really cool feature, and which in turn allows you to interact directly with certain aspects of your business. I am Rob Moore, the man that was just moments ago muted, Director of Customer Support with Sweetbrier. I help our clients out with training sessions, general information, and overall support working within the G Suite apps. This is going to be our agenda today. I'm going to speed through this just a little bit because I lost some time there. Again, I apologize about that. We'll look at accessing chat. So how do we get in? We're also going to look at downloading the apps to be able to access, as well as direct messaging. We're going to look at, for project teams, how to create a room and hold multiple conversations within that room, and then also how to share files. After that, we'll take a look at the Google chatbots. So Google Meet, Poly for interactive polls, and Kayak for traveling accommodations, I'm going to really focus on. ProsperWorks for salespeople, I've included a good amount of information here within our slides, so that'll be available to you to research on your own. However, I don't have a lot of ability to demonstrate the actual ProsperWorks part because I don't personally use that generally. And then we're finally look at a work in progress. So this is something that's only rolled out here about 2 months ago. So there's still a lot of development, a lot of features that are on the roadmap. So we are actually going to begin here with how do you access it. The first thing you can do is you can download desktop apps for both Windows 7 Plus computers and up. Apple computers, they have a Play Store Android device app, and then they also have an App Store app for an Apple device. We are going to access it from the web interface today for our demonstration at chat.google.com. And I will come right back to that here. And then we also have these clickable links within. So creating a direct message, like I was showing you a moment ago, these are actually clickable links. So it'll take you not only to just the Google or the G Suite Learning Center, but it'll take you specifically to the section that has that exact piece of information you're looking for. So as you are experimenting with this, we will give you access to these slides. And so if all you need to know is how to create a direct message, you can just simply click that link. Now, I've already clicked chat.google.com here when I was under the impression everyone was already hearing me. So we'll just go back over into our chat.google.com interface here. From here, you can see we have a new message here from Fast Eddie where you couldn't hear me, right? So we get the notifications over here on the side. What I was trying to point out here before I realized that was the current new chat feature only works for users within your domain. These messages will actually carry over, though, if you've been using the previous Hangouts. So over here, you're familiar with this inside of your Gmail inbox. You've got your different chats going on. And from here, you can still access and chat to people that are outside of your domain. Now, you'll notice I have several conversations over here. The only that carry over into the new chat are going to be the ones within my domain. So that's why I have several inside of my Hangouts. However, I don't have all of those over here. So as of right now, that is a limitation here. Now, from accessing the chat, if you come up here to your settings, it's a nice, easy place to download those apps. You can just click here and it'll take you into a spot where you can access all of those. Again, I've linked this directly into your slideshow, so you don't have to do it this way, but it is available to you. We can also come over here, and this is where we'll actually start chats. So we can click on this and you'll see a few different options. We can add people, we can add rooms, or we can add bots. So we can direct message all of those. So if we start by putting someone in here, you'll see Fast Eddie. Let's go ahead and start a message with him. You'll see we have that open, so he automatically, or we would just click right in there. I don't have a whole lot of people on my training site here. So within this domain, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of people. But you could go ahead and start to fill these names in with people in your domain, and it'll auto-populate those names down at the bottom so you can select them. So you will get that feature just like you've had before with other Google products. From here, we can also create a group message. So you could put multiple people into a direct message. And again, it's the same thing. You just start typing. It's going to go ahead and find those folks. And we can add them directly in. And then we could start a direct message with them. So now we have a group message here, and then we also have direct messages occurring. Another feature here that I want to point out is with the bots. So the bots, you can actually message them directly. There's two different things you can do with bots. You can invite them into rooms, which I'm going to show you here in a little bit, or you can actually just go ahead and work with them directly. So let's go ahead and type in our Drive bot. And you'll see he'll go ahead and populate over here on the side. Now with the Google Drive bot, all this is going to do is show you anytime anything is shared with you, you will get a notification over here to let you know that it's been shared, and then you'll actually have access to it right from there. So the Google Drive bot, you can go ahead and add him into your direct message here, and then just let him run in the background. And anytime you have something shared with you, you will go ahead and get that notification. I also want to go ahead and add the Meet bot in here. And the Meet bot's going to work directly with our calendar. The Meet bot we can also add into our rooms, and so I'll show you that here again in a moment when we get to the rooms section of the demonstration. However, there is some functionality that's going to be different with certain bots in between the different areas. So if you are direct messaging this bot, you're going to have a couple more features that you're able to access than you will if you're using the bot inside of a room. And again, these are things, as time goes on, they're going to develop out. Everything here is still pretty early. So we've looked at creating individual messages. We've looked at creating messages to bots, and then also creating group messages, group DMs. We have the ability to set notifications here. If you come up again to your settings, you have your notification settings. So from here, you can decide how you want to be notified. Web and desktop, you have some different options. Mobile, you have different options. And then also through email, you have different options. So whatever you select here, these are your notification settings. Now at that point, you have a few different ways to turn them on. The easiest way and the quickest one I'm going to show you is just to come over here on your side panel, and these three dots to the right, if you click these, you can turn on these notifications, and you'll see here it's going to follow your general settings. So again, whatever I've set here, those are my setting rules. And so anytime I turn the notifications on for any of these folks, that's what's going to get notified, or those settings are what are going to be referred to for the rules there. We also, if you noticed, have the ability to star. So over here, I have only a couple of people meeting. It's important to note if you had like 60, maybe you have 60 people that you chat with on a semi-regular basis, but there's 2 that you just always talk to, you can go ahead and star those folks, and you'll see it'll pull them right up to the top. Oh, or apparently I just hit something that weirded out my screen. So if you hit the star, you'll see it pulls them up to the top here. So we have recent to the bottom, and then we have start here. And you can do this with rooms, you can do it with direct messages, you can do it with the group messages. So anything that you feel is the most important, you can star them and have them at the top for easy access. The last feature I wanted to show you at this point is the history. So if we come down here, you'll notice this little toggle switch. Assuming your administrator has left this ability open to you, and they might not have, you'll see you can turn this off. And here now, messages are deleted after 24 hours. So if you have unimportant conversations going on held within a chat that you don't need to have on the record, you can set this up and it'll just make it easier for you to find things in there. Some of you won't have that option available though, because your administrators will turn that off. So if you don't, it's going to record everything. But then at the top, we have a search feature. And you'll see we can search directly in this DM. We can go back and select a different conversation. We can look for specific people. We can look for specific slides. or we can just type in search features that we're looking for to find it within a conversation. So if you have a room or a direct message and you're not able to turn history off and it's collecting a lot of information, the search feature, again, with all of Google products is going to be amazing. So it's a great opportunity there for you to be able to locate things within a room or a direct message that may be lost otherwise. Now, moving on to Google Chat for project teams. We're going to look at how to create a room, removing people in a room, joining a room and leaving a room, starting multiple conversations in a room, all wonderful things for folks using this for team projects. Again, especially since it's only open to people within your domain, this is a wonderful resource for you to use this for projects. Sharing in chat is made easy. I do want to point out, files you attach in a conversation are automatically shared with all participants who have comment access. This applies to our rooms that I'm about to show you. When we are looking at the rooms, anytime I upload something to that, if you are in that room, you now have access to it. So it's something to be aware of. It's just a feature that it has. It makes the sharing especially easy, but you do need to be mindful of what you're sharing there, keeping that in mind. And then also, since we're going to jump into this as we're doing the room demonstration, I am going to scroll through this part with you right now. So getting started with bots. Bots, again, are these special accounts you can chat with. So it's kind of like they're people. You provide a conversational way for you to connect to services in Hangouts Chat, such as looking up information, scheduling meetings, performing tasks, and so on. Some of the ones I'm really going to focus on today are the @meetbot. So you can use the @meetbot to handle a request to schedule, modify, and cancel meetings, as well as to look up your schedule. Again, I have a link here that's clickable. You can go ahead and click in and learn more about any of these bots on your own time. We also have the Polybot. So the Polybot is going to bring simple polling into the new intelligent app, which is a really nice feature, especially if you want a quick result. It's almost like putting together a really quick basic form and being able to get immediate results right there. So I will show you that in just a moment here. The Kayak bot is on Hangouts Chat. It's a bot intended to make it easier for coworkers to plan travel together. So this one's going to allow you to find hotels, to book flights, all kinds of things using the Kayak app. And then the ProsperWorks bot. I'm not actually going to zero in on this during the demonstration. However, I've included some extra links here. So if you're a salesperson and you're especially interested in ProsperWorks, we have general information, what can it do, and then also 10 ways to build better relationships with Google Hangouts Chat that are all articles published by ProsperWorks that will help you to see the functionality and advantage of using this bot inside of your rooms. All right, so let's jump back over into our demonstration here. And we're going to go ahead and create a room. So just like we've done with the direct messaging, you simply come up here and you'll see we have the option to create the room. We'll name this one webinar. And go ahead and create this. Now, from this point, you can go ahead and invite people. If we come up here, this is going to be kind of familiar if you're used to using Team Drives at all. It's very, very similar to that same functionality. So we click the arrow next to webinar, and you'll see we can view members. As of right now, it's just me, so that's easy enough. We can add people and bots from right here. So you can go ahead and start adding people in. Again, you'll notice it's going to populate the most popular folks that I have. So we can go ahead and add Donnie. We'll go ahead and add Fast Eddie. And then I also want to go ahead and include a couple of bots in here. So the bots that I want to add, and as I'm scrolling through, you can see some of the others I'm not going to talk about that are available. We have Asana, Diagram, Dialpad, Disco, Ignite, etc., etc. I'll let you look through those on your own time. But again, I want to focus in on Kayak, I want to focus in on Meet, and I want to focus in on Poly for this demonstration. So we're going to go ahead and add them into this room. So again, you can see now the room has been created. We've added some folks. Everything's going to be kept record of inside of here, so you can see exactly who it was that added these people and when they were added. You'll see I've got 3 new messages. We can click on that and expand it out. And this is actually going to be our bots responding to us. So they're going to give us kind of an example of what they can do and how to use them. Now, we can go ahead and reply directly to any of these. We can start a new conversation inside of this webinar, or this webinar room that we have going on here. So we can call folks out if we want to. Let's go ahead and call out Fast Eddie. Let's go ahead and send a message out. We'll leave that there for just a moment. So now within this room, I want to show you, these are separate conversations. So if we wanted to respond to Polly, we can respond to Polly right here. We can respond to Kayak right here. This, as it draws out, as it gets longer, this is going to continue to grow on, and there's always going to be this reply line down at the bottom. Now, say you're in a project team, you could have this conversation going on about sales issues, and maybe you want to start another conversation about marketing issues. So you simply click New Conversation, and you could type out the new message. So now we have separate conversations. Anybody inside of this room can respond and see any of this. So it is important that you understand that once somebody is in a room, they're going to have access to all of this. I just want to make sure and point that out so that you understand that even though there are separate conversations now taking place, anybody that has access to this room has access to all of the information. So just like when you share something, everyone can see it. Anything that you post in here, they're all going to be able to see. So just be aware of that. Now we've looked at how we can create the new conversations. We can actually go ahead now and remove members if we wanted to. We can view the members again. If you come down here, we can hover and delete parts of our conversation. You'll see this appears over on the side. So we can either delete it or we could edit this section of the conversation. You'll see we have a new message here again. Hello. Now, say that you are no longer interested in what's happening in this room and you want to get out of there, go ahead and hit the drop down again, and you'll see at the bottom you can leave this room. So we'll leave the room. Over to the left, it vanishes off of our list, and now we don't have access to it. Now, if we come back up here to where we had started our direct messages, our group messages, and also our bot messages, not only can we create a room, but you'll see we have the ability to browse rooms. If you have a bunch of rooms, you may want to search the room here. We only have a handful, so we're going to go ahead. Webinar is the one we just created. You'll notice we can preview the room before we join it. And then down at the bottom, if that is the room you want to get into, you simply select join and you're back in the conversation. Now, if we come to reply again, and we go all the way over to the right, again, this is going to look very similar if you're familiar with attaching files by Gmail. We have the ability to upload files directly from our computer. We can add Google Drive files. So we can come right in here. We'll add test, select that and add it, and you'll see we get the warning. Everyone in the room will be able to comment on this file. So we can go ahead and send that. And it's out. So now everyone that is in this room, again, has access to that. Just that easy to share something. We also have the ability to start a video call here, or if you feel like words just don't say it, or do it justice, you can go ahead and use an emoji. Now let's take a look at some of the functionality of the bots here. So we added the @meet bot. Make sure we get the right guy. So you have to say in order to be able to speak to one of these bots. So you say @meet, schedule a meeting with Fast Eddie next Tuesday. Now you'll see it's going to take a moment. It's looking for a time, and now we get several options. It's actually looking at all of our calendars and making sure what times were available on that day. Again, you have to put the @ in front to be able to talk to it. So at Meet, we will go with C. And now you see, if we actually go over to our calendar next Tuesday, oh, that's Wednesday. Yeah. Next Tuesday, there is our meeting. Now, this is where some of the functionality comes and goes, right? Within this room, I cannot cancel this meeting. If I say at Meet, cancel this meeting, it's not going to be able to do it. However, if I were to come over here to my direct messaging with my bot, I can do at Meet, schedule meeting with Donnie Demo, Friday. It's going to be exactly the same kind of thing. So now we have our options at Meet. Let's go with C. You'll see now it's scheduled. And now we could say at Meet, cancel this meeting. When you were in the direct message feature, you're able to do this. So again, this is one of those points that I just wanted to emphasize. Some features work within the rooms right now, and some of them only work if you're in a direct message atmosphere. And so this is one of them. So with the at Meet app, you get more functionality if you're direct messaging in. However, you can go ahead and schedule all of those meetings inside of the rooms. You would just have to cancel them elsewhere. Of course, you can also just go to your calendar and cancel it if you like. Again, the Google Drive one, this is only going to notify us if we have something shared over. So you can't really talk to the Drive bot quite yet. Now let's also take a look at Polly. So Polly creates quick interactive polls. You simply put in a question. So let's say, who should we invite to the webinar? And then in quotes, you're going to put your options. So C-levels, sales, or marketing. Now we're just going to go ahead and click enter on that. You'll see it automatically populates a poll directly in here. At this point, anyone that's in this room can go ahead and respond directly to this. So as I select an answer, it's going to automatically update it. You'll see another user has gone ahead and picked their answer. So we can actually get lifetime feedback on this. Again, this is kind of like creating a form, just in a really quick, easy, basic way. So if you don't want to go through the trouble of putting all that together and sending it out, you can do this really quick and get quick answers on anything within these rooms. So we can create polls by doing at Polly. The last one I wanted to show you today is at Kayak. If you do a lot of traveling for business, especially in teams, this is a great way to research hotels, flights, things like that. So let's look at flights from LAX to JFK Saturday. Now you'll see there's going to be a new message. The Kayak app takes a moment. You'll see you're hang tight. It's researching, seeing what it can find for us. And wonderful. So there are several options there. $395, $400, $395, all about the same. Sometimes you'll get the really expensive one at the top, but you'll see we have several different options here, different airlines, et cetera, et cetera. We can also use that Kayak to find hotels. Hotels in Santa Fe this weekend. Again, we get our message, it's thinking. And there we go. So again, these are just some of the basic bots that we have right now, but the functionality is amazing, and some of the speed that it puts into being able to locate these things, as opposed to having to go outside and use another website and put all this information in, to simply be able to say what are the hotels available this weekend, and it gives you options, is going to speed up that whole process. And now this information is available to everyone inside of this room again. So If you guys all decide you want to stay at the Villas de Santa Fe, then you simply highlight that, and now everyone can go ahead and book their rooms directly from here. All right, so we've looked at the rooms, we have looked at the bots, we've looked at some of the direct messaging features. I did say I wanted to finish this off with a couple of things that we know this is a work in progress. It's been around now for a couple of months. There are a lot of things on the roadmap coming available soon, but this is definitely still a work in progress. So I did want to point out a couple of the things that we are aware of as current limitations. I've already told you that new chat only works with users in the same domain. So again, you can't bounce back. You can use this one for like rooms and for chats within your domain. And then you can just come back and use the old Hangouts for quick messaging for people outside of your domain. Again, it is roadmapped, so at some point here, this will be available to you outside of there, but I don't have a date for that right now. Also, bots are currently only available in rooms, or you can direct message them. If you have a direct message with somebody else or a group message, you cannot invite them into those rooms and get the same functionality. So again, still in development. That being said, there's more to come. As with any new technology, there are still many aspects of chat that will continue to improve over the coming months. If you find a feature that you would like chat to add, I've gone ahead and include a link here for the Google feature request. You can look there to see if something you think should be added has already been suggested, and if it has, just vote it up. Or if there's something that you feel like you would like to see added down the road, that is the place that you would like to submit that to Google. So that being said, that concludes our presentation today. Thank you for your time. I'll hang here for just a couple of minutes to see if any questions come in. Please don't forget also, we're going to share these slides as well as a video copy of today's webinar with you shortly. So you'll have access to the clickable links and the information held within. If you find you have questions at the conclusion of today, please don't hesitate to reach out to Sweetbriar, and we'll be happy to find you answers. And again, I apologize for the delay on the sound there at the beginning. I have too many places that my microphone can mute, sadly. So I do apologize about that. Let me take a quick look here at our questions.
Hey, Rob, it looks like we do have one question from Marty. And her question is, can you delete a room? I know you covered leaving a room, but is it possible to also delete it completely?
As of right now, I've not found the functionality to delete the room. You can leave it and rejoin. But at this point, I haven't seen the option to be able to actually delete a room. And I would imagine the purpose of that being that if you have a lot of people in a room, you don't want one person with the authority to just get rid of it entirely. So I will take a look for you. And if I find something otherwise, I will certainly let you know. But as of right now, I haven't seen that ability anywhere.
Great.
Let me see. Might have got another question here. Have the ability to produce pop-up notifications. So I've got another question. I've noticed the desktop application doesn't seem to have the ability to produce pop-up notifications. So there's a setting for this that I have not found there yet. I don't have an answer for that one yet because I haven't played around with the desktop application too much, James, but I will go ahead and look into that and I will get back to you today. Okay, any other questions? Okay, I'm not seeing any other questions come in. I've got a couple of things here that I'm going to research. I'll share that information out with attendees today. And then also, again, we're going to give you a copy of this webinar so you can go ahead and review this information, and then also a copy of the slide deck that we've been viewing today. So thank you so much for your time, everyone, and have a great day.